Hi you all, back to Mattie's kitchen. Today I'll be making y'all some stuffed pork chops with stuffing and some fried apples. My ingredients for this, the pork chops will be I got two types of pork, and these are pork loin, but this is a flat part. I'm gonna use that. And also here's the stuffing. I didn't get mine too thick because sometimes it don't, but I just made a big hole in there so I can put all my dressing in there. And I have two types of this. I'm gonna use this kind and this. And like I said, this is for the flat because I'm gonna put stuffing on top of here. And I'm gonna see which one you all like the best. And my vegetable would be green peppers, onions, parsley, thyme. These are celery. This is garlic and onions again. And my dry ingredients will be nutmeg. These are for the apple, vanilla flavor. I got butter. I got sugar. And here's the apple I'll be using, the Granny Smith. I think these are the best when you're making fried apples. I like these better than the red, but you can use any kind of apple you want to. And but when I start cooking, I'm gonna name the ingredients again because I always use the name them 2 or 3 times. So, and here's I'll be using some. I'm gonna make homemade stuffing, and here's my cornbread. I cooked off camera. But if you want to see how I cook my cornbread, go to Mattie's kitchen and look at my old-fashioned cornbread with honey and buttermilk. And I cook this the same way. I put buttermilk, honey. But if you want to see how to cook it, go check my channel out, Mattie's Kitchen on cornbread. I'm going to start with my pork chops. I'm going to season them. This is a little minced garlic. I didn't mention that before. I put a little bit of this on here. Minced garlic. You don't need too much seasoning because the stuffing and the gravy and stuff I'm putting on here, look at this. And when I put my seasoning in, I take and kind of mash it into the meat, you know. Just mash it in. Let me show you, use some gloves. Mash it in there good. And I take and I'm gonna put, that was garlic. I'm gonna put a little pepper on there now. Coming out. Okay, put a little bit more garlic. I don't see my garlic. Did you all see my Waldorf salad? It's doing really good, and it's so good. You all should look at it when you're not doing anything. You can have that's a dessert. You can put some meat in, like I say, and use it for. And put a little salt on here. You don't have to use that much salt. Use as you desire. And I'm going to put it on the inside. See the inside of it? I'm going to put it right in here. I cut this myself. I'm not a good cutter, but I just want my stuffing to be in there good. So put it in this one. See, this one's kind of, ooh. So when you do that, all you got to do is you wipe it off because some of it came out too much. Put a little salt in here. Side the pork chop. I know most people don't do that, but put a little here. I don't like to use too much salt. I use more pepper than salt. Put a little less garlic in here, inside of it. So that seasoning can go in there too. I don't know, most people might not do that, but I do. Okay, put a little pepper. I don't see no pepper in here. Put a little pepper in here. Might have wiped it out, okay. Okay, now I'm gonna turn this over and do the other side the same way. Okay, start with a little pepper. It don't matter what you start with. Start with a little pepper. Look at me. Sometimes these salt and pepper shakers, they act like they want to act. Put a little garlic on here. Okay. I got no pepper on this. Put a little salt. And y'all doing nothing to view my videos because I got some good videos in there, you know, and I always come out pretty good. My videos do. So I'll take and mash it in, the meat, both sides. Let's see. I already put some in. I put a little bit on this over here. Just a little pepper on these two. Because when you know, I don't like thick meat myself. Some people do. So I always, when I'm cooking stuffed pork chops, I do some flat ones too for myself. But that's good. As long as you cook them on the inside. Okay, this is ready. I'm going to let this set for about 5 minutes. So I can get my other stuff together. I'm getting ready to start with my searing my pork chops. I'm just searing and just frying them on each side, you know, so they can cook. It's less in the cook when you do that, a cooking time. This is coconut oil I use. I'll start using this a lot. Coconut oil. Stove on, forgot to do that. See, it's good. I like it. It makes the food taste so much better. Okay, and I'm going to put... this is garlic. Put some garlic in here. This is just to flavor it, you know. I put some on there, but I'm going to fry it. I'm going to sear it in this fresh garlic. Make sure y'all follow if you want it to taste good. And here's some thyme right here. I'm going to put this in there and let this fry. I'm going to get ready to fry. Okay. Oh, I might as well put all this garlic in there. Okay. I'm getting ready to my... garlic and thyme are frying. Getting ready to fry a little bit. And I also use coconut oil, like I say. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take, now this is kind of old-fashioned. Some people don't do this, but to me, this is the best thing to do. Take and open your pork chops, see where in the middle, and let them kind of cook a little bit. You ain't got to worry about letting them thinking they're not done, so you can do them like that, the ones that I cut. Put this in, just turn them up and let them sear a little bit. This one is a little raggedy, but that's okay to get as long as it's dressing. And let it stay right there and sear in this. And y'all try this. Open them up really good and let them cook in here. Let them cook there. You don't let them cook long now. You don't want them to cook too long. Okay, I bet you all never thought of this. You know, sometimes they said like the pork chops don't be done in the middle. I said, let me cut them up and let them cook a little bit. See how that's cooking on the inside? You don't need it much, just a little bit. And cut the time of, you know, baking and drying out in the oven. So I suggest that you do it like this. Now I'm going to turn it over. See that? They don't mess it up that bad. Listen, that's how you cut it. See how that's going? I'm going to let it sear on it. And close this one up. And let it sear. Okay, I'm going to put this, one of these other pork, I'm going to put this pork chop in there. Let that one cook. Okay. Okay, I'm turning this over now. They cooked them, it's seared enough. Oh, this smells so good. If only I can eat it like this if it was done. I don't want it cooked too long because I'm going to cook in the oven too. Turning this over. Turning this over. Let it brown a little bit on this side. So that garlic and onion, you can let that stay on there because that's going to give it a good taste with that coconut oil, honey. That'll be so good. But when you're cooking it, make sure, you know, if you're going to use the big ones, make sure you cut them in the middle, like I said, so they can be done. Because you don't want to eat pork unless it's cooked real done. So that's why I do that. It can look good, but that don't mean it's healthy for you. And it don't mean it tastes good just because it looks good. Okay. And what? Okay, you don't want to cook it too long, so both sides. What I do is, now I do this right here. On this side, see where that bone is? Because these are the same type of pork. All of them is pork loin. This with the bone, and this is without the bone. So you can cook either one of them. When they say stuffed pork chop, it's stuffed, but I do not like my, I like for my stuffing to flow. I don't like for it to be, you know. That's why I use cornbread stuffing. Some people use white bread, but if you try the cornbread and you check on my Mattie's Kitchen, how I made my stuffing with my turkey, you can make it like that. But the point is, you don't use chicken broth. You're gonna use beef broth or pork. I tried. If you can find some pork broth, use that. But that's hard to find. So I gotta cook. So I'm cooking on the side where the bone is. Yeah. Now this is good to go. This is all the searing you need. Don't try to overcook it. So I'm gonna set this, try to put it on this side too, see where the, let that fry a little bit. And try it like this, honey. Make sure y'all do this. So your pork will be done, and you don't have to dry it out and cook it so long. Like I said, I'm gonna turn this over. And I'm gonna set this aside, and what I'm doing now is getting ready for my stuffing. I'm gonna make my stuffing. I'm gonna cut the oven to 350. Oh, bake. Crazy. Okay, I'm gonna let that, and then I'll see you. When I see you again, I'm getting ready to make my stuffing. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm getting ready. You can either put this in a pan and do it on the kind of brown these onions, and this onions is pepper, green pepper, and this is celery, and this is a little parsley. I'm gonna put some butter in here. It doesn't matter how much you put in there because you're gonna take and throw some of it away and just drain it. So I'm gonna put some parsley in here. Put some of this in here, and I'm gonna put this in the microwave. You can't never put too much in here because you can always use it for something else. You know, you can put it in the refrigerator and save it. So put that in there. Put these onions, fresh chopped white. This is a yellow onion. Okay. This is for my stuffing, y'all. Make it taste good. Old-fashioned stuffing in a way. And here's my celery. Put some celery in here. Celery is what make it taste the best. So I'm going to put all of this in there. I'm not probably going to use all this, but I can save it for later on for something else when I cook. And here's my parsley. Okay, put some parsley in here. Yeah, put all this parsley in there. Okay, might as well put all this in there too. Like I said, I'm not going to use all of this, but I can save it. You know, don't throw it away. Put it in the refrigerator and use it again. You probably can freeze it too. I don't know. Never tried to. I'm gonna put this in the microwave until it get till these vegetables get soft. And this is for the stuffing that's gonna go inside the pork chops. Okay. What I'm getting ready to do now is mix my stuffing, make my stuffing. And what I'm using, like I said, I named it twice because in my introduction I might have not mentioned some of the ingredients that I'm using. Because what I'm going to use is, like I said, this homemade cornbread. Check my family, my channel, and you'll see it. Me making it, I always cook my cornbread the same way to make it taste good. Good. Let me take this out with my hand. And I change gloves a lot. You know, when I'm cooking, I might not do it on camera, but I always change gloves so everything could be, you know, clean and stuff. Sanitized. Okay, and this and that. I just need enough stuffing for, you know, going those those pork chops. So I don't need all of this. But it's okay, that part. But it's some good cornbread. I know it's good because it's always good. My cornbread be so good. Check it out, y'all. See for yourself. Okay, that's about enough. I use half of this pan of cornbread. So I'm going to set this aside. Now I'm getting ready to kind of break these up right here. I'm just cooking enough of my stuff for the pork chops. I got the 4 pork chops. This will probably be a little bit more. Break it up. Then I'm going to add some of this that I always use now, honey, y'all. This is good. Pepper-rich cornbread. I use the cornbread too. And I don't like white bread on my stuffing. I just don't like it. Seems like it get gummy, gooey. I like for my stuffing to, you know, just fall apart. And sometimes that white bread stuffing don't do that, but cornbread always do. You don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to chop it up really good. Okay. I'm going to put these onions. See, these one I microwave the onion, the celery, the parsley, and the green peppers. Then this go good with stuffing. And it don't take much to make stuffing. If you check my channel, I don't take much. Let me see this. But the more vegetable you put in, the better it tastes, really. So I'm probably going to use all these vegetables. Ain't that much. Use them all. Stir them up good. And I'll put a little beef broth beef broth. Like I said, I couldn't find no pork. So I'm going to be using this, I believe. Okay. I'm going to pour some of this beef. This is beef broth, organic. And it's flavored good. I like this right here. I like it. That's how I use it. I don't use other brand, but I like this brand. I don't want to put too much, but I can always put more cornbread in. If you put too much beef broth in here, you can always add more cornbread. That's why you should always make more cornbread and have more crumbs in case if they get too wet. So I'm going to stir this up. Exactly. And it don't take much for stuffing. And the vegetables what make it. And I had some butter, you know, from the vegetables. Butters. Make sure, sometimes I microwave them, sometimes I cook them in a pan. You all help me bring somebody else to my kitchen, to Mattie's kitchen. You see some good food. Like I said, the last one I did was my Waldorf, and it looks really good. I ain't seen too many look good as that one. So I'm gonna stir this up. See these vegetables in it? It's gonna be so good when you put in that stuffing with that. I had that coconut oil, garlic, and thyme. So they need a little bit more, so you get it the consistent that you want. Sometimes, like I like to mix mine in a clear bowl so you can see how it looks. Add a little bit more broth. Sometimes it takes a whole container of broth. Okay. And the only thing I'm going to put in here once I get through mixing it up, you see all them vegetables? That's what you want to see when you're cooking. You want to see your vegetables, honey. That make it taste so good. One lady, I looked at my comments, and one lady said when she get tired and and can't relax, she said she listened to my voice and it just, I just hope that's true. She said she listened to my voice and she just go to sleep. That made me feel good. I just wish I could remember your name, but next time I'm going to mention your name. Because I appreciate that. That need to be wet a little bit more. Just a little bit more. See the difference between the cornbread and the white bread? You use white bread or wheat bread, whatever you want it. See, this right here falls. See, the white bread get kind of gummy to me, but this don't when you cook it. Because it's cornmeal. It's not flour. Okay, now I'm going to put a little pepper. All you take is pepper. Don't put no salt in here. Pepper and some pork seasoning. That's all you need. See, some pork, just sprinkle some on there. You can taste it too. Okay, that's about, put a little bit more. That's about enough. Okay, I'm going to finish stirring this up. And after I get through with this, I'm going to put them inside the pork chop and put them in the oven. Okay, y'all, my stuffing is made. I'm going to taste it a little bit. Not mine. The onion, the celery, the green peppers, and the parsley made this taste so good. So I'm getting ready to put it in. I'm going to stuff. This is how I do it. I just take and open it up real good and stuff this stuff. And then if it fall out, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it fall out inside the pan. I don't know why people worry about that. I worry about how it tastes. I don't care if it fall out. Some of it fall out. And I'm going to put these together. In fact, because the stuffing tastes the best to me. I'll put it just like that. If some fall out, that's okay. It don't matter. See, put it like that. See how that looks? That's going to cook good. I'm going to do all of them like that. And if it fall out in the pan, it don't matter. Like I say, it's how it tastes that matters. Put a lot in there and then sometimes, you know what I do? I take and cook some because the stuffing, like I said, my stuffing be jamming. Okay. And I'm going to take one. Here. So now this is I'm going to lay this is one on top. See? And you see that part? You see that onion and thyme on there? So good. And the coconut oil. So I'm going to take and put this on top of there. some on top. And see which one you like the best. I think I like the one on top because all is the same. It's pork loin, flat, and that's one for stuffing. That was about 1.5 inches pork chop. I don't like them too big. So I'm going to put them up there like that. So good. That's going to be good. And when you're putting this in the oven, you ain't got to cover it, but just take it. And I'm going to show you. Lay a piece of aluminum foil on it. Okay. I'll do this one. This one too. See, this one I didn't, I cut these myself. I didn't know what I was doing, but like I said, it's still going to taste the same. In fact, you probably get more stuffing. I just take and put it in there. Cover it up. Let it cook. See? Put this over here. My food always kind of look good when I get through with it, so that's why. Don't worry about it. Okay, here's the stock from when I use the garlic, the onions, and the thyme. I'm going to put this on top of these, and here's how my pork chop look. I'm going to put some of this on, put a little bit of, stuff on top of it. Just a little bit of this. I'm also going to use this probably for gravy. Just put a little bit on here. And this is so good, y'all. If I can't cook it, I won't even mention it. I won't even cook it for you all, but I know what I'm doing. So just follow my directions. So that. And what I do, y'all, with this right here, I take a piece of aluminum foil. I just put it on top like this. I don't seal it. Yeah, sorry for the noise. I don't seal, I just lay it just like this right here. So the pork chop can get a little, just a little. I won't get so tough and dried out. So I'm going to put this in the oven. Okay. Put this in the oven. Oh. Okay. And I'm going to let this cook for about 30 minutes. I'm going to look at it about 35 and 40. It's going to take about 40 minutes to cook because I seared them pretty good. I'm going to put this, set it in the back of the oven. Okay. I'm going to get ready for my fried apples now. Okay, y'all. What I'm getting ready to do now is to make my fried apples. And it's simple. You don't need anything. I'm going to use this butter. Let the butter melt. Because you're going to mix all your ingredients that you're going to be using with the butter. And let it simmer. Then you put your apples in. You might need a little bit more. This is a stick of butter. I use butter. I don't like margarine. Margarine is fine, but to me, it makes butter season a lot better. Now, that's me. That's Mattie. Y'all don't have to use it if you don't want to. That's up to you. But I prefer butter. And in that, I'm going to be, when this butter melts, I'll be using honey, cinnamon, some nutmeg, ground nutmeg, and vanilla extract. Not flavor, extract. Okay. Waiting for the butter to melt. And I'm going to add all these ingredients in here. And then put the apple. This is the simplest thing in the world to do. And sugar, too. I forgot now. You got to have some sugar, honey. Sugar. So let me mix my ingredients. I'm going to start putting the flavor. I think I'm going to use this extract. I'm going to use all of this. That makes stuff taste so good to me. And it's expensive, but it's worth it. I'm going to cut this down some. Cut it down. And you're going to add some honey. Add some honey. Like I used to say, honey make you pretty. I think it does. Put some of that in there. I'm going to put a little cinnamon. It's simple to make fried apples. Don't be scared to cook, y'all. Just come to my channel. Subscribe. And share, hit that notification bell. When I cook something else, you'll just put as you desire. You'll see my next recipe. Put the cinnamon in there. Keep the stove kind of low, just a little till you mix all your ingredients. So, now I got to put a little nutmeg in there. That smells good already. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add my apple, then I'm going to put my sugar. Like I said, honey, cinnamon, and nutmeg, as much as you desire. And on the side over here, You see this cooking? This is my it's not bacon. It's the fat from the pork chop. I'm gonna use this as a stock, the grease, and from the fat from the pork chop, and I'm gonna make some gravy. I'm gonna show you how to do that. And let this cook while I'm doing that. Okay, now I'm getting ready to put my apples in here. Put them in there. Stir them up good. And you should cover these so these apples can get soft, soft and stuff, and keep stirring them. Yeah. That's all you take. And you can use, if you want to peel your apples, you can peel them. If not, you don't have to. That's up to you. While this is cooking, I'm gonna taste a little of this, see how it tastes. Set it in there. I'm gonna put my sugar in here. So I'm gonna put the sugar in. That's the last thing I put in. You can use brown sugar or white sugar. I just don't, you never see me hardly use brown sugar. I just don't like the way, that's my taste buds, whatever you call it. I hope I'm saying that right, y'all. You know, sometimes, I don't know how I'll be pronouncing words, but don't judge my, just judge my heart. See, I put this on there and let it, I'm gonna let it get a little soft, and I'm gonna stir it up again. It don't take much. Let this tend to cut the stove up so I can cook. Let's see. Now here's the stuff from there. This is from the sauce from the I put in there. Tastes pretty good. But it seems like I need something. I put a little honey in here. A little bit of honey. Make sure you taste and see how you like it. Put a little cinnamon. And this is the easiest one. I think all older people used to cook this. Nutmeg. A little bit more. And some honey. And I'm gonna let it cook a while. If I need anything else, which I doubt it. Honey. And put a little sugar. More sugar. And that's it. Make sure you cover it so the apples can get soft. Keep them, stir them a little bit once they start cooking. You stir them a little bit. And that's it. I might put a little bit more butter in it. Get some liquid. Just a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna cover that and let this finish cooking. Okay, y'all, I'm getting ready to make my gravy. This is the fat from around the pork chop, and so it didn't have that pork seasoning. And the gravy is so simple. You can check my other channels out and see. I put a little flour. Cause how much gravy you want? Just a little flour. The same amount of flour as grease. Make a paste like with the grease. And this is I add a little coconut oil in here too, because I didn't have enough grease. So I'm gonna put a little bit more. You don't need very much. This probably make almost this pan. And then I'm gonna put some flavor to flavor it up. Brown gravy. I'm gonna put a little brown gravy in there. I'm gonna put this whole pack because this pack's supposed to make a cup. And I want more than a cup. The meat in there, I'm gonna take the meat out when I get through. Probably need a little bit more coconut oil to make it even. A little much flour. Well, not really though. Stove on. Just mash it up. It's just simple gravy. I don't want a lot of grease with it. Okay, my stuffing is almost ready. My stuffed pork chop and my apples is cooking over here. See, they cooking over here. Okay, now I'm gonna make this look gravy. Put some water in it. Hot water, warm, cold water. So it can just start, get that I'm gonna stir this up and mix it up. I should have added a little bit more grease, but I really didn't want none. You also can put some beef broth in here to season it. Oh, to season it too. You can do that too. Okay. I can't stand a dirty stove, y'all. I wipe it off 1,000 times. So that's coming. Now this is for you to go on top of your pork chop if desired. You don't have to, but I like stuffing on mine. I like the gravy on my stuffing. Good like gravy. And if you want to check out how I make my gravy, I cook gravy on several of my cooking channel. But it's like this is old-fashioned gravy. All you use is grease and flour. And the grease is from your whatever meat you cook with most times. You cook chicken, you use a chicken grease. If you pan cook it, use a cooking grease, and then you water, pepper, no salt. You add pepper in here though, because pepper gonna season. But you don't have to put no salt unless when you taste it, you need salt. Most times you don't need salt. Okay, I'm gonna let this thicken up a little bit. Okay, y'all, don't this look good? This is a finishing touch. This is my stuffed pork chops. This is the one, same loin, pork loin, but the stuffing laying on top of it. That's the one I like preferably. And here's this one. This is another stuff, and this is stuff, and these are two with the stuffing on top of them. And here's my fried apple. I like mine look the fried apple. And here's my gravy. My gravy. That look good, y'all. Okay, then I'm gonna get ready to fix the plate and show you the finished touch. Hey, y'all, isn't this a beautiful plate? I mean, this is the stuffing on top of the pork chop, and this is the stuffing inside. And here's my apples. And I hope you all tune in, share this recipe, and cook it. You know, like I say, it's easy. It's a good Sunday dinner, and the fried apples are delicious. Please share and subscribe and pass it along. Thank you for tuning in to Mattie's Kitchen.